national anthem, it's about police brutality?
Yeah.
What?
Believe it or not. Don't let Trump let you believe the hype.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that think it's the other. It's
well,
about,
that's just what they do. And when I say this is when I am talking about white people. Some, not all. That's what they do. They'll hijack
the
narrative and then try to turn it around and make themselves the victim. Listen, I don't give a damn one way or the other about the national anthem. And I rarely even, I know you've been a military man, so that might kind of...
Yeah, I might jump you right now.
Yeah, but I know how to fight too, so... and I don't want to be totally disrespectful, say I don't give a damn about the flag, but we know that the flag has never represented black people.
True,
ever.
And we never had a national anthem until 1938, I believe it was.
Yeah, and then even when the national anthem, well, I think it was written before then, Francis Key.
Yeah.
So even before then, when Francis Key wrote it, he wrote it because he's pissed off that slaves were not going to be slaves anymore.
Yeah, you notice that they never play the third
or the second
or third part of the national anthem. Why is that?
Well, because he was basically saying, "I hope you niggers die."
Right.
That's pretty much what he was saying.
Okay.
And so you're mad at us, black people, because we don't want to pay homage to that. Why? Why are you mad? I mean, like people have drawn a correlation saying, would you, if they had a song talking bad about Jewish people, would you expect for them to like it?
Yeah, well.
But that's how it is, though.
Yeah.
They expect for black people, just get over it.
Get over it.
This is, if you don't want to be here, go back. Right. Well, I would express the same thing to you. You're not native to this land either.
Right.
So take your ass back where you come from.
You're right. And leave the money and the riches with it. And then things with it. We are doing Love in the Skin I'm in, and people have said great things about the show and where we're going. My mom loves the show because she says she gets a nice good laugh out of it because it's crazy. It's and I'm gonna give a disclaimer. My mom does not know where I get my chauvinistic leanings because she didn't raise me that way. However, I am a man, so I will not defend women's issues. Like I said, I'm not into the abortion thing. I don't want to talk about that.
So you're not a feminist.
I'm not a feminist.
Doesn't that just... Hey, listen, I don't care if people get mad. I'm going to start having your attitude. F you! No, just
hey.
I just don't understand a man who's a feminist.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Because I hear men say that they're feminists.
Yeah, no, I'm not a feminist. No, I'm a man, so I will never be a feminist.
And if you're not a feminist, there's something wrong with you.
Then there's something wrong with
you.
You
don't like women.
Because if you want to be free, you have to be willing to fight for it yourself. You can't depend on somebody else to pick up your issue, which is a problem in our community because we sit here and we wait for somebody, and you say it all the time, for somebody to save us. And that's not always, and that's never going to happen. We've got to save ourselves.
Well, just because we've been conditioned to have that happen, have people save us. Whether it's, and true indeed, it's not just black people who benefit from welfare and socialism and stuff like that. But it's been, given to us, it seems like, especially,
okay, let's talk about this, and I'm talking to you as a mother and a black woman and all that other stuff, and an educated black woman at that. Why is it that when another race of cultures or culture comes into this country and they open a business, where is the first place they open their business with?
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you want better? So you're in... I don't know, China, okay? You're going to come to America, but you need to scope out a place.
Right.
And so you hear there's places where you can just go set up shop, and you don't even have to do any marketing or advertising. The only thing you really need to have is, the alcohol, the hair, what we would call in our communities, what? Nigga shit.
Nigga shit, right. And you can do well.
You can do well.
For a year or two and then get out of there.
And... you ain't even got to treat them right.
Right.
You could disrespect them.
Right.
You could
and
sell
they
them.
will still buy your shop and all that other stuff like that.
You can sell them rotten milk, food, bad products, cuss them out. Hell, you know what? You can even choke them out. And you come back the next day and open up shop. Right. So where would you go? If you heard of a place like that.
I would go to that place.
Yes.
Right. So that's a good point. That's a good point. But it goes back to my thing of everybody else could come here, move into our neighborhoods, open up these businesses. They don't live in our neighborhoods. They don't live in our communities. They live out in Orange County or in the affluent areas, but their business is right with us, or they live in like Woodcrest, Riverside,
right,
the nice area of the city, and they make all their money here on our side, or they're renting to us. And we don't open up businesses, but try to do that in their neighborhood.
Shit.
I'm going to go to the Chinese neighborhood and open up my Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Number one, they won't patronize it.
Nope. They're going to do what they're not supposed to. They're supposed to go and do business with their own. But the beautiful thing about what we're speaking about, things are changing.
Yeah, they are. They are.
I did my show on this last week. The awakening of the sleeping giant. Black people are waking up, and that we are not putting up with that anymore. We saw Jay Morrison and T.I. and a couple of the people in Atlanta shut down a very popular restaurant called Houston's because they were disrespectful to them, and they said no more of our black dollars. And you're starting to see that pop up. In fact, I'm supposed to be going out to L.A., if my man will let me, and join a boycott of these liquor stores out there of Asians who are not treating black people right.
Koreans, got to be specific.
Koreans, okay. So we're starting to see black people wake up, and we're starting to take it back.
But here's my thing: since we're talking about, that's why I specific by saying Koreans, because you can't just group all Asians in there. Yeah, that's an issue. We have a problem there. But at the same time, overall, to me, it seems like we keep missing the big problem, which is the white man.
Well, I don't think we're missing it because the white man often lets us know that I'm here and I'm going to do hell. I mean, we've seen videos after videos after videos of this. So this is not that we're making up, of white men saying that it is our duty to preserve what we built. Yeah. Whether it means to keep oppressing people, not really getting mad about police brutality, because we are the superior race. This is what they're saying. Yeah, we're the superior race, and we're going to do whatever we got to do to stay that way.
Have you been seeing on YouTube and even on articles on the web where police chiefs and lieutenants, people that have been in law enforcement for years, are being fired for police brutality, racial connotations? They're finding out. Well, I've said this for a long time. The Ku Klux Klan, all they did was change their sheets in for police uniform.
And they said they were going to do that.
Yeah. So a lot of these people are being exposed now that Trump is out. It's really exposing a lot of them because they think it's okay,
right,
to be like, fuck you and your rights and blah 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 blah. And now
Well, what it is, and this is just my opinion, and I think it's the opinion of a lot of people. The powers that be, or let's say white people in general, are starting to see what's going on. You mean to tell me for almost 500 years you do the worst things on the planet to a people, and you don't think at some point in time they're going to say, you know what, that's enough?
That's it.
If that's, I mean, even if you, whatever system you believe in, whether it's the Bibles, the laws of the universe, karma, you're getting that back.
Right.
Your forefathers may not have gotten that 500 years ago, but you are still reaping the benefits from that. So it's not my saying. That's the way things work. You're going to get back what you've done to people. And so for these people who say, well, get over it, you weren't in slavery, you're still benefiting. Those people are benefiting from our people. They're bending over, picking the cotton and going through all. They're still benefiting.
Yeah, but you're not a slave.
I know I'm not a slave.
So what do you have to do with it, nigga? Because
you are benefiting. Because my people were a slave.
Okay, did you see that video? Did you share it with me, or did I share it with
Which
you?
One?
Where the one guy was talking. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at the video right now. So there it is in a nutshell. It's the video where you see this guy, and he's asking people to take steps forward based on their benefits or whatever. And you have people, and I think a lot of black people need to see that video, because maybe we can save one or two. Most of these niggas ain't gonna do nothing, but one or two of them. Most of those kids have an advantage that had nothing to do with the decisions they made.
Right. Well, that's just the way racism works. But I think, and this is what, on this show, Loving the Skin I'm in, and on my show, Demetra K's show, what we try to do is just bring awareness to that. White people, they're never, our problem is this, and you kind of alluded to this a minute ago. We keep trying to convince white people not to hate us. Right. Not to be racist toward us. Please treat us right. I'm to the point where I don't give a damn how you treat me, to be honest with you, because I'm not in the position to where their opinion of me matters. To where I need to. You think, hell, if I was out there, looking for a job and all that, I'd be like a lot of these black people. I can't say certain things on my Facebook, or I can't do this. I'm not going to apologize about who I am. But the problem with us is a lot of times we are trying to appeal to white people.
We're
not bad, you guys.
Yeah, and we're not. It's not going to happen.
Right. So we need to stop focusing on them because we're not ever going to change their minds. But we can focus on our thing as far as group economics and doing all the stuff that we're supposed to be doing to be who we're supposed to be.
Right. And you talk about that on your show. So for those guys that are interested, at 3:00 on Facebook, look for Demetra K. And if you've missed the show, she's in syndication and she's on YouTube, and you can see parts of the show on her YouTube channel, Demetra K, as well there. Now, moving on, and I just wanted to bring that up because a lot of people, talk about it, and, they send comments to me and say, I hate that bitch, and fuck her, and niggerness.
Say it to my face.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, and I know people don't like the language and stuff like that, but it is the internet. The government is trying to control the internet. If YouTube is now taking down people's thing. Yeah. Facebook is censoring people's things.
But they'll let dead bodies swing. But
of course.
Dead bodies swing.
Yeah. Lynchings and stuff I think goes on. So you guys got to be cognizant of what's going on. And what we do is we try to put the message out. So moving on, what I want to talk about, which is very important, is the Kenneka Jenkins SyOp. And a quick thing, I want you guys to take a look at this video, because a lot of people say that the mother doesn't have any empathy and, she's probably in a conspiracy. And those are probably good ideas or opinions or whatever. There's no such thing as a bad opinion, because opinions are just that, opinions.
Right.
So here's a video of Miss Jenkins. And I remember this lady was 3 days removed from Martin. Yeah, Miss Martin.
Jenkins.
Yeah, sorry. Don't talk about Miss Jenkins. Don't talk about Miss Jenkins. One of my favorite In Living Color characters. Benita Petrel. Benita Petrel. But Miss Martin, remember, she's 2 days removed from 2 or 3 days removed from cancer surgery, so she was recovering.
Right.
She had to get out of her bed, and you're going to see her actually run out of the hotel when the reality that her daughter was supposedly discovered in the refrigerator. So take a look at that, and we'll get right back. So there she is.
That's horrible. I mean, I
thought that was you for a second.
Yeah, it would have been me.
But see, I knew it wasn't you, because Miss Martin went through the turnstile. You would have gone through the window.
Through that damn window, okay?
Right. So, and I don't mean to laugh, but
that is painful to watch. Can you imagine?
As a mother, that is the reaction people have been wanting to see out of this lady.
And that was always my argument. You don't know what that lady has done or said, or and with the loss of her child.
Yeah. Yeah, and so there it is in a nutshell. And it's so sad that we're getting all this stuff in pieces and trying to put it together. However, there has not been a death certificate been found on record.
So what you're saying?
Well, what I'm saying is, knock on wood, God forbid, you lost your mom. How long did it take for the death certificate to be generated?
We got it within a week that she passed.
Right, but when she was pronounced deceased, the doctor immediately, wrote the time of death and cause of death on a certificate, and it was filed. Correct.
Normally, that's how it works. Yeah,
within a week. So this young lady's been dead for a little over a month, and that's public record when somebody dies like that, and yet nobody can receive.
But they ruled what happened to her, right?
They ruled it's an accident, and that's why there's no arrest right now. People saying, "Oh, this person should be arrested. This person should be arrested." You guys got to understand how the law works. If they ruled it's and the mother's not pushing the issue, if they rule it a accident, there's no arrest if it's an accident.
Well, that's what they did, right?
Right. It's been ruled an accident. The coroner. Now, the mother can push to have an independent autopsy, which I don't know if she did or not, but we haven't heard anything.
Right.
The mother doesn't seem to be. She's out there protesting the hotel.
Still?
For whatever reasons. And, I mean, it's very compelling and it's heartbreaking. And, because a lot of people, YouTube's shutting down a lot of people are getting disinterested in the case. And, of course, when it comes to a young black girl, nobody gives a damn.
Which I'm surprised that it even went this far, to be honest with you. Right.
These activists, Jebediah, and all these guys that are, we're here for the people. Because you're not getting paid, you're not raising money, what happened? Why did you leave?
Oh, they're gone now?
Yeah. He went on to another
next
situation.
Yeah.
Just nigga shit. So everything's about making money. So that video showed, the lady's first reaction. And I do feel something is going on because the tapes have been edited. How the coroner could rule an accident and tapes are being edited to me, that leaves the investigation wide open that this isn't an accident. Something's going on.
Okay, now.
Okay, so, but I don't want to keep talking about Kanika because that's still an ongoing chase. Shout out to a guy named Straight Drop and everybody else that is still on the case, pointing out irregularities in the videos and making you think about stuff. But I want to bring this up because there's a lot of young black people missing.
Right.
Okay? And the reason why I say there's something bigger to this going on, and me and you were talking about it earlier, is why this girl, and, what, did she have like some special blood venom that they had to have? And, here's a girl that, is in Chicago, and she's like any other young chick. I told you that she had gang affiliation ties, all this stuff. This is what I believe. This is my opinion, so fuck you if you don't like it. Our views just went up. But anyway, and I'm start tampering that. I just said F you, so I'm just dropped the F bomb on that. But for the trollers out there, so she does have in my opinion, gang affiliation and ties. She goes by the name Martin. She goes by Jenkins. Who knows what's going on with all this confusion? Now, in some of her Facebook pages, she's flashing a lot of cash, and here's what I think. In my surmise of some of the stuff that's going on. I honestly believe, and I've been in a lot of hotels in my life because I used to fly with the Air Force and we used to stay in hotels. And you always have, hookers and people that hang around the hotels and things like that. Why are these girls partying in a hotel room? And you come from the south side of Chicago, there's not a lot of opportunities there, but yet you're a housekeeper at a hotel, but you're flashing wads of money.
Well, because housekeepers make a lot of money?
Yeah. Okay. Here's what I believe. And I believe the mother was, she's part of that lifestyle too, whatever. Hoeing is a part of the game. It is.
When you say the game?
The game is of survival.
Okay.
The game of survival in economically depressed areas. I have yet to go to Compton.
Really?
No. I'm talking about areas like Compton, south side of Chicago, St. Louis, Houston, all these depressed areas. They have here's the one thing they all have in common, no matter where you go. Drugs, prostitution, gangs. I mean, it's all the same narrative. So, okay, you're in Chicago. There's not a lot of opportunities for these young girls. They're affiliating themselves with gangsters, tattoos all over their fucking faces, no fucking future. But this is who they decide to have children with. It would not be beyond me that this girl was being introduced to the whole life by her friends.
Now, when you say the whole life, you're not just talking about some just regular everyday tricking. You're talking about like call girl type stuff.
Escorting.
Got it.
Escorting type stuff because, anybody could go out in the streets and sell pussy.
Right.
I mean, they could do that.
Well, not me. But
yeah, but I'm just saying that's how easy it is. Okay, you're at a major hotel by a major airport. To your truth, white men want black women.
Absolutely.
So here's a young 19-year-old, tight, titties are perky type girl. Kanika's a little bit more attractive than some of her friends that are in the picture. You can sell what? I mean, you see things on TV with back pages and all these girls are getting involved in that. The sex trafficking trade is really big, especially, out here. So it wouldn't be unfeasible that's why they were at the hotel, because remember, the mother had the ticket of her car being in the...
You got a ticket or something?
Yeah, well, the parking area on the 6th.
Okay.
But she went to the party on the 9th. There's a lot of things wrong with this. And if people would piece it together, but I'm just thinking, speculating, I think she was being introduced to that life and maybe she wasn't with it and something went terribly wrong and blah, 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 blah. Because how do 19-year-old girls, not just her friends, and just you go to all their different pages that are connected, they're all flashing wads of cash. Now, I've worked all my life. I've never flashed money like that.
Well, and then I would say, too, a lot of times when people cash their tax check or refund check or a big check or whatever, I don't know, it just becomes prominent in our society now Both of our phones are ringing off the hook. Maybe that's like
that's the Young Turks are on.
I was about to say, oh, is that what it is? I was about to say maybe it's a big time offer somewhere or something.
Yeah, well, but we are willing to join your association.
But no, I just think, that's just kind of the day and age where people are flashy. They want to flash everything on the internet.
Here's the thing. That shows you how ignorant they are, too. When you flash that money like that, the IRS is watching. And the government is watching.
I'm watching. You let find out where you at. Though.
Right. No. But you see what I'm saying? Because when you flash that cash and it isn't reflective on your taxes, they're going to come after you. So you shouldn't be doing stuff like that. But what I'm saying is you're in the south side of Chicago. You're in this low, depressed area, but you're flashing significant amounts of cash like that. Where are you getting that cash?
That's a good question. I mean, and I know, now I don't know personally now. I heard. Okay. There's this thing called seeking arrangements. Mm-hmm. And what it is sugar, that kind of stuff. Sugar daddy's looking for these young, what they call sugar babies, to take care of them, wine them, dine them, go on vacation.
Yeah, I think I saw Deanna on the site.
My baby on there.
Couple of sites, Anyway,
it's been the last time you seen her on there.
Right.
You seen her on the back of a milk carton after that, okay?
Right.
Have you seen this child?
Right.
So that's kind of a popular thing now with these young girls getting on these sites. Dating these old cats, now I ain't talking about dude that got a mechanic shop up the street.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this as a mother, and this is what I think. Would Kanika's mother be down with that kind of stuff? I think she would. Survival of the fittest.
Necessarily think it's just her mother. I think there's a lot of moms.
No, exactly, in that environment.
Like, girl should make your money.
Yeah, make your money.
It wouldn't be me, though.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. My daughter did have that conversation with me because she has a friend who is stripping at a local strip club.
What's the name of the... what's her friend name? Never mind. No. I'll talk to you about that after.
And so she went to the strip club because the girl's like, I'm making all this money. And, she's on Snapchat with all these, dollar bills and all this stuff. And so she's telling her, I'm making $1,000 a night sometimes.
Bullshit.
And so she needed to go check it out.
Okay.
So she said she went, and these dudes are just
dollar bills.
So
when I go to the strip club, I take $2 bills with me.
And they be like, get your ass out of here.
I take $2 bills, and I tip with the $2 bills. I go to the bank and get $2 bills.
$2 too?
Yeah, the $2 bills.
So they didn't know it was from you, huh? That's your signature? Look at you.
It makes me different.
You're still giving away the money, regardless of what increments you give it.
Oh, without a doubt. But the thing is, that's what makes me out.
Here's my $2 bill.
Yes, here you go.
So she was like, her friend was like, girl, yeah, you can do it too. And it's easy. And so she comes home, she kicks the idea to me. At first, I was like, nah, you don't want to do it. That's just a path.
Well, let me ask you this. When she came to you with that and said, hey, I went and saw my friend, were you shocked?
No.
Or were you just like, bitch, are you crazy?
It wasn't even that, because I know my child. Sure. I know that she wouldn't do that kind of thing.
No, but you were just like...
Yeah, but I get it. It's... And this is true for a lot of people, especially with the inception of the internet. I said this not too long ago. The internet is the perfect... It's like a gift to people who like to brag.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times you see people on the internet, they doing it big. They got these big old stats, and that's probably their rent money. But they making you think that's,
Right, 50 cents. I ain't got no money.
Right, and they doing it, I'm at the club, I'm popping bottles. Oh, yeah, we going on vacation. They just in the backyard, but you don't know that.
Right.
And so, and you might be struggling.
Right.
You're like, damn, it'd be nice if I could just come up like that. And so then... As if you're a college girl and your friend is, making all this money, your college girl who's kind of having some struggles sometimes financially,
sure.
And your friend says you got a nice rack or whatever, come in here, you'll make some money. You think, okay, well, maybe. So then she comes to me and tells me the idea. Yeah, and I said, well, the path, as my dad always says, the path of least resistance is always going to take you nowhere you want to go. So I said, that's
wisdom.
Okay. Yeah, it's something you need to think about. Yeah, that's quick money. I said, but I guarantee you right now, your friend is not just shaking her booty.
Yeah.
And because she got a little booty on top of that. So she's not just shaking her little booty and making all that money. I'm talking about little booty.
Yeah, no, I like little booty because all that big ass and stuff.
I'm not even talking about just a regular ass. It's a little booty.
Yeah, whenever I see a big ass and these girls that are enhancing their butts and stuff.
That's gross.
I wonder, how do they wipe their ass? And how much tissue do they use?
But that's a lot of ass.
I know.
Especially if you already got an ass and you adding some more. That's a lot of ass. There's a lot of responsibility with all that ass.
And you guys have been blessed with your mother's genes.
So I can imagine having no more ass.
Yeah, exactly.
But So I told her, I said, this girl is doing something more than, a little strange for the change. She's back in that back room.
VIP.
But she's not telling you that. She's on the internet making you thinking, I've got these $1,000.
I just showed up. I have no ass. I have a little booty. And these guys are just dropping money on me for no apparent reason.
I know you're giving away $2 bills, but damn it,
I want something for my $2 bills.
Yeah, eventually you giving that kind of money. So eventually she was like, yeah, you right. Because she said she finally did go. And she was like, ew, that's not to do it. But she was.
Yeah, she saw what really happened.
Yeah, she's like, no, I'm thank you.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm going to be struggling right here.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be more to it because nobody's just going to get, especially, okay, we used to have a club here called Deja Vu in Ontario in the Inland Empire.
99 pretty girls and one ugly one.
Yeah, 99 pretty girls, one ugly one. And it was non-alcoholic, and it was completely nude.
Non-alcoholic?
Yeah, it was non-alcoholic. Damn. Completely nude. Because, Nick, people out here don't know how to act. And back in my early days, at the base, we would go over there and just check it out. And there were some really nice girls there, but, it wasn't alcoholic, so you really couldn't have a good time. And the girls are out there, they're dancing and stuff. And
you couldn't get loose.
You really couldn't get loose, whatever. And I'm just thinking... And then you look at the clientele there. Now, here's the one thing for the young ladies that might be listening or watching. Okay, I'm going to give you a tip. When you're living near a military base or there's a military base around you, okay, be smart. These are guys that get paid every 2 weeks, and so they have a check. So you want to be friends with those guys because they have a job and a income. I don't know what their responsibilities are, right. But the point is, they got a job. Now, these guys here in the Inland Empire, there ain't a lot of jobs. So you will see motherfuckers sitting up at the very front with no money, just watching the show. Okay? And me and my boys would go up there, and I would tap the guy and say, get the fuck up.
Okay, who was paying customers?
Because these girls, you girls are working hard. Why are you sitting up in the front and you ain't got no money?
With water and some with lemon in it.
Yeah, I would say, get the hell up out of here, wasting these girls' time. And because, I knew, how the strip club thing worked, you're not there for free. Some of these girls are single moms. I support single moms.
Single moms.
They would always come to me like, oh, hey, thank you for, and I do my little thing, whatever, and be cool with them, But, so that's a little tip for you women out there. Yeah, if there's a military base by you and a guy says he's in the military, not the reserves, I'm talking about the military, active duty, that is a guaranteed paycheck, and that could be a guaranteed...
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, a guaranteed patron for you, a regular.
I guess.
If you're going to be playing the game like that. So that's a little tip. But yeah, get the hell up. The guy's in the front just watching the damn show, I'm just like, oh my God. Because we would go there to talk about politics and, things that are affecting the world. We would.
You a damn liar.
We would. We would go there and just say, hey, that Saddam Hussein, he's really, really crazy. Mm-hmm. She's,
look at those titties.
Yeah, she's, here's $1, look.
Right.
So anyway, that's a big tip. But as a mom, and you see these girls are going down this path, so what was your advice?
I try not to be the type of parent as you better not do that. Are you crazy?
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, because then she'll stop coming to me. So I have to, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that, but I have to be diplomatic with her because at the end of the day, she's an adult.
Right.
So I just try to reason with her, ask her questions. Do you think that's something you really should be doing? Is this something that you can look back on?
Are you willing to shame your family and your father?
And then when you look back, was that something to be proud of that you didn't? This is what I tell people. Nobody, I don't care who you are, is exempt from the struggle. Mm-hmm. And so by you trying to sidestep it, you're doing something like that, you're just going to be bringing on more problems. You've taken yourself to a level that you wouldn't have ordinarily taken yourself to, as you talked about earlier in this podcast, because of money.
Right.
We all need money.
Yeah.
It's a lie to say, oh, I don't need money. Money doesn't make the world go round. It does. However, what are you willing to do for it or not do for it?
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, I need to be able to look at myself in the mirror every night, before I go to bed and say, you did good today. Well,
remember a couple of days ago you asked me about like these guys with the Harvey Weinstein story had broke. You'd asked me about like, would I sleep with a guy for $1 million? Mm-hmm. Right? Now, whenever that question comes up, I always tell guys, okay, listen to the question. Because
would you sleep with a guy for $1 million?
Now, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. I took critical thinking in college, and I took logical thinking. Okay. Logic. So I deal with a lot of logic. Now, the question for me, if somebody asks me that question is there a camera in the room?
Probably. You don't know.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
Ask Kevin Hart.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't know what a person will do for money. You don't know. Now, for $10 million, I'd consider it. Being honest, I'd consider it. $10 million to, what do I got to do for it? That's all I got to do. There's no tape. There's no video. No nothing. Hey, next thing you know, I got $10 million.
And a sore booty hole.
No, I just got some chapped lips. I got chapped lips. But no, you see what I'm saying? You really got to ask yourself what the parameters of what that is. Never say that you wouldn't do anything.
I'm just going to say this. For me, there is no, and this is just me. I'm no judgment to you, Donovan, your chapstick. And
no. I'm not saying I would do it. That was a joke.
Yeah. To me, money is not worth my self-respect and how I would look at me.
Exactly.
That's just not. I mean, it'd be nice to have $10 million. There's some people who do it for $10.
Right.
You know, so I don't even know if an amount has anything to do with it per se. But no, I mean.
Well, remember that movie? You're a big Pam Grier fan. Remember the movie Coffee? Mm-hmm. I watched that on YouTube last week. I'm a big Pam Grier fan. And remember she was... like, to get revenge, she was like, became a she was a nurse. She was a nurse. Right. She was a nurse and slept with the guy to get into the thing and things like. And I'm thinking, wow, she was willing to go that far, sleep with this guy that she probably doesn't even care about, blah blah blah, doing it. And I'm thinking, damn, that's the one lucky motherfucker. But
I should have killed her, man.
Yeah, but these are things you got to think about when you're going to do that. So in your daughter's defense, and as a mom. You got to set a standard to what your kids are going to be. And it not just applies to women, it applies to boys too. My mom, one of the worst things my mom hated about me and my brother, when she saw that we had effeminate traits, she hated that punk shit.
Like what?
Like, she hated stuff like, I hate man. She didn't want to hear all that bullshit.
Right.
She was like, fuck that.
Well, society now tells you that you shouldn't tell boys they shouldn't cry. They shouldn't whine, and I'm just telling you what I've read. And
why are these young boys wearing dresses now? That's a big topic. That there's a new rap group out that just came out.
He's married to the game, and he's got a wedding dress on. He's married to the game, and he's sucking on a pistol, but he's talking about it's very confusing. But
you see, we tell people what not to talk about, but yet we're not telling our kids what they should be doing.
I mean, I absolutely 100% keep it real with my daughter all the time. I don't cut corners. I don't bite my tongue when it comes to educating her. Like I said, she'll be 25 at the end of the year, but she is never going to be too old for me to indoctrinate her with wisdom. Mm-hmm. Right. She's never going to be too old, and she's never going to be too old for where I say, well, shit, she grown. I can do what I want to do because she's still watching me. Mm-hmm. And I don't want her to take that attitude. I can do what I want to do because, your kids are still watching you no matter how old you get.
Right. But my mom used to hate the fact that when we would, be punk asses. She, I remember, getting in a fight and she'd be like, who are you fighting? What's going on? Get your ass back out. Come, get your ass and go get some more.
Your mom sounds like my dad. Don't you come back in this house and tell me you watch your brother and sister get their ass whooped and you didn't help, or you took an ass whooping and you're crying.
Right. And I think that's another reason why when it comes to fighting, I'm not saying I whip ass.
But you didn't get your ass completely whooped though.
Right. I give you all you can handle because I've been trained not to go back. Right. I'm going to just get in there and hey, you're going to have to kill me at this point.
Right.
So it's possible. And what I'm saying in the Kanika Jenkins thing, that's a big thing of how the mothers are portrayed. And everybody grieves different. I understand all that. But here's my comparison. Do you remember this young lady named Matrice Richardson?
The one that came up missing
in
Los Angeles?
No, she was in Malibu.
Yeah, right.
Malibu Canyon, in that area like that. Mm-hmm. And come to find out, the cop the chief of police had the tape of her leaving the precinct. There were so many.
Yeah, they saw a cop following behind her.
Yeah, you're going to release a young girl in the middle of the night. She had mental issues,
so they said, or she was drunk or something.
I mean, there were so many glaring things that were wrong with this thing. The parents aren't together anymore. They both filed lawsuits. They were given $1 million, $450,000 each, to settle the claim. Remember who was the sheriff at the time? Lee Baca.
Oh, he's in jail right now, right?
Yeah.
Doing a stint.
He's doing a stint. You know, all these things that are going wrong in the jails.
Oh, yeah.
And here's what people don't understand in the Matrice Richardson thing. You know, here's a girl who graduated college, whatever. You know, we don't know if she's having a mental break. We don't know what the circumstances are because you're saying she has a mental deficiency, but yet 3 hours later, she's totally competent to be released and let go.
Yeah, they just let her out in the middle of the night on top of that. Yeah,
away from her car, away from her phone. And, you know, there's so many things going with that. So I want you guys, if you ever get a chance and you're interested, look at the difference between the Matrice Richardson case and the Kenneka Jenkins case and how it was handled.
Right.
In the Matrice Richardson case, the jailer that released her was a black woman.
Oh.
A lot of people don't know that. You know, but if you look at the case, it's very interesting. But again, here it is, and this is what I think the problem with the Kenneka Jenkins case is. I don't think that they thought it was going to blow up as big as it did. Because if we had the evidence and we had the internet like we did back in 2009 with Matrice Richardson, I believe we would be going down the same road and trying to find out what happened to this girl. Because even after the body was found, and a year later the mom came back in there and they found her, the coroner in that case ruled unknown circumstances.
So they just found a body.
They just found a body in a hard to get location.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. But when the mother came back to, you know, do a memorial or whatever, they found a piece of her finger bone in the area. So it wasn't even a correct thing. And in California, it's against the law. And in most law jurisdiction things, it's against the law to move a body until the coroner comes in and takes pictures and does all those things, even if it is ruled an accident.
Right.
And notice in the Kenneka Jenkins case, there was no pictures taken that we could see.
Right.
All these things like that. I mean, how can a person, how is it an accident that a person is going to be found in a freezer face down sideways?
Right.
I mean, it just doesn't add up. And it just seems to me when it comes to these black, and I know there's white cases and there's Asian cases. There's an Asian girl down on Skid Row that was found in the water tank.
Really?
Yeah, look, you got to look that up. That was really good. They say that she was bipolar or something, and they got videotape of it. But all of these things are happening, and it just seems to me that I don't think they really thought that this case would blow up as big as it did.
Yeah, and to me, that's the question I have, like, why this opposed to any other cases that have taken place?
Right.
I mean, I know the freezer kind of made it unique, but
they didn't think it was going to take
people
hold.
die under unique circumstances all the time, especially in the black community. It's kind of like, what's for dinner?
Right. You know?
And
in this situation, with all the mitigating circumstances, I just find it surprising that nobody has spoken. I do believe that rich, powerful men do keep street niggas and things to the side to supply them with drugs, girls, and things of that nature to do their dirty work. You know, you're always going to have niggas that are willing to do that and have that money. You know, we always talk about the man in the hood. Not that I've been in the hood, but in the movies, I see it. The man is always the white guy that's controlling somebody from City Hall, whatever.
The fat man, the fat man.
Yeah. So take a look between this case and the Kenneka Jenkins case, but also the Ashanti Billy case as well. So there's 3 cases I want you to look at.
That's the girl that was missing in Virginia?
Yeah, in Virginia. And look at how the parents all acted in regards. Even in the Matrice Richardson case, that case is still being searched on and looked for. Kenneka Jenkins case, her mother and her sister have been silent. And I showed you pictures of her sister.
Oh, God.
Yeah. We're not even going to go there, but if you're interested, check it out. But I want you to look at the difference in how the parents reacted. Everybody reacts different, but in the cases of Ashanti and Matrice, the parents are still fighting for justice and to find out what happened to their daughter.
And, you know, the sad part about it is they'll probably never know. It's just because there's been a little respect for the black community in regards to the police. And, hey, you know what? You found your daughter, go home and go on with your life. But as we talked about a few weeks back, they're still talking about Natalie Holloway. Yeah. You know, the girl who came up missing in Aruba.
White Becky, my Becky.
Yeah, I mean, so that's gonna change in time when black people start unifying. It won't be necessary because we shouldn't care what white people think of us now. We really shouldn't. But it'll matter to us less because we will have our own money. We'll have our own communities. We'll stop giving them that don't like us our money.
I'm going to have to disagree with you, but go ahead.
Why?
Because it's not going to happen.
It's
not going to happen in our lifetime. It's not going to happen.
I'm going to tell you why I see it happening.
Okay.
Because when white people start getting, because this is what this is all about, this people not really denouncing white supremacy and stuff. Mm-hmm. They're not really denouncing it because in a way they're glad it's going on because that helps solidify our position in the world. Right. Not just America, but in the world. But they see black people starting to wake up.
Sure.
They see that.
No. There's a lot of us that are waking up. But in general, it's just like that question that was on Facebook. Why is it that the few of the niggas that are running around with the ratchet life and stuff are giving that perception to where it's indicative of us as a whole?
Well, then let me ask you this. Is it the fault of the few black people who are wayward and lackluster that white people overall have a bad impression of us? Or is it the fault, or is it the white people who have a bad impression of all black people based on what a few black people are doing?
That's a catch-22 you just said.
It's not. I mean,
it's an enigma.
Because I think you don't even have to have a very super high IQ to say, okay, I see a group of white people across the street, but I see one white person running in the middle of the street and taking her clothes off.
Right.
So I'm smart enough to say, okay, well, that person is stupid.
Right. No,
I'm not gonna say look at white people.
No. Of course. But
sometimes I say that, but not
here's my thing. A small group of us doesn't represent us as a whole, but I'm not concerned about that. Here's my thing and here's my statement, and I want nobody to misconstrue what I'm saying.
Well, make it plain.
I'll make it plain. We have to start worrying about correcting ourselves.
Amen, brother.
Number one, before we worry about what this person says, what this person thinks about us, whatever they does. Mm-hmm. If we don't even have the strength to correct our own people, what they say don't matter anyway.
Preach! Is this the Pastor Don show?
No, it's not the Pastor Don.
You're preaching today.
No, that's how I feel about it.
Okay.
But the thing is, it goes back to what we and you argue about all the time. Mm-hmm. When a black man or anybody, a black woman stands up and says, I'm setting a standard. Mm-hmm. Oh, how dare you! Talk about her weed! How dare you! That's the problem.
I get it. I think the weave is probably a bad example. Because
but whatever it is, you shouldn't be hoeing, young girl. Oh, how dare you tell her how to live her life? That I do agree with. I think we have gotten to a point in society. Nigga, pull up your pants. How dare you talk to my son?
Not even just black people, just in society.
I'm worried about black.
Right, because we want to be told that, this is a new day and age.
No,
that's just how the kids are doing. When
even in a new day and age, you still got to have standards. You still got to have a standard.
I agree with you. Okay. I totally agree, but that's what people are saying. Right. This is a new time and age, and when you were a kid, you did stuff your mama didn't like.
No, but the thing is, my parents provided a standard that I had to uphold.
Well,
period.
Nowadays, a lot of parents don't even know what standards are.
Exactly, because the parenting stopped.
I mean, sometimes, and no shade to people who go to church, a lot of times you go to church and you can't tell the church folks from the hoes.
Right.
Because, and not necessarily that wearing clothes make you a hoe, but damn, I mean, I think you go into the house of God, you should have your
drawers on.
Yeah.
You should have your drawers on.
Or, you shouldn't have your breasts and your thighs and everything showing in the house of the Lord. Right. But but to your point, the standards they're gone.
You got to have some standards.
Because I think even, the loose women and the dudes in the community, when they went to the house of the Lord, they was like, okay, hand me that paisley dress over there and put this, give it to me. And I know I'm just taking off these hot pants from the club last night, but at least they had some sense.
Right.
But the last couple times I went to church a few years ago, I was like, shit, is this the club or church?
You can't tell the difference, can you?
So, I don't know.
But that was a great topic. I want you guys to just check that out. Loving the skin I'm in. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a difference. Give us your opinion. Tell us what's up. D, we really love your show. Keep it up. Keep being militant. Keep having people curse us out and try to get us shut down. Check us out also on the Hot Seat Radio Show. That's going to be later on this evening. Daryl Terrell Times. We've got that. Pastor Don Radio Show. And, of course, the Demetra K Show. And be ready for, I know people saying, where's Donovan Sadiq Show? I will get to it. I'm so busy producing everybody else's stuff that we're going to get to mine sooner or later. But we got a long way to go, and we need to start maintaining standards within our community.
We're on our way back. The sleeping giant is awakening.
What are you going to be talking about this Sunday?
I don't know. I may not be talking about anything because my man is coming down tomorrow.
Oh, is he coming in tomorrow?
Yeah. So I mean,
that means we won't see D because she'll be getting it in.
No, trust me.
You won't see D. She will be getting it in.
Yeah, we'll do one of the shows, either the Luvin Skin I'm in or the Demetri K show. One of them.
Okay, probably the Demetri K show.
Yeah, because I don't want to torture him for the whole time.
Yeah, because like I said, and if you see D with her braids and they're pulled out. We know why. Al was just getting it in. So, all right, this has been Luvin Skin I'm in. Hey, congratulations to Tay. She got engaged and will be getting married. Also, Max, get better. We'll see you guys later.